Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. So today we've got a bit of news, but also some theories that I've been wanting to explore for a while, but before that, we have some pretty big news for the Ahsoka series. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is now confirmed to be playing Hera Syndulla in live action. Now you might be saying, didn't we already know this? Didn't you already talk about this? Well, that was just speculation, and I did speculate after Star Wars Celebration when Hera appeared in the Ahsoka trailer that it was indeed Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing the role. So now we know that Ivana Sakno is a Night Sister, we know that Natasha Liu Bordizzo is Sabine Wren, Rosario Dawson of course is Ahsoka, Katie Sackhoff is Bo-Katan, we think that Lars Mikkelsen is Thrawn, and Amanis Fundy is playing Ezra Bridger. Now this Hera news has been confirmed by Bespin Bulletin, who in my opinion are about as reliable as it gets. She'd been cast in the Ahsoka show in an unspecified role, and now it's come out that she is playing everyone's favourite space mom, the Twi'lek known as Hera Syndulla. And hopefully, given that this is a Mandoverse show, we'll also see her son, Jason, and who knows, we might get a flashback to Kanan. No details are known at this stage about how much screen time she's going to get, but I presume it's going to be a lot, given how this story is rumoured to be the sequel to Star Wars Rebels, at least to some extent. And I just want to give a shout out to Vanessa Marshall, who voiced Hera in Star Wars Rebels, and also the Bad Batch Season 1. I hope she appears in Season 2, but that voice actress is an absolute superstar, and her passion and love for the character is unchallenged. I would have loved for her to be involved in the live action role, but unfortunately that's not in the cards for her. She deserves all the respect in the world, but I wish Mary Elizabeth luck in the role, and I really hope she does justice to such a beloved character. Now I have seen some pushback to this casting on social media, but personally, I'm going to give her a chance. We cannot in good faith judge a performance we haven't seen yet, and with this news, we have casting rumours for all of the surviving Ghost crew, except for Zeb Orrelios. When I spoke with Jason at Making Star Wars about him, he told me he's not heard of him in the show. I still keep my fingers crossed though, because I'd love to see him and Kalos make a cameo. Although, if not feasible or it just doesn't look right, why force it? Zeb was made for animation, and it would be very difficult to have him in live action. Would they do CGI, practical, a bit of both? Who knows? You can just have one of the other members name drop him and tell us where he is. And one final thing for the Ahsoka series before we talk about Grogu, I came across a really great opinion piece. Ahsoka can build on the Star Wars sequels, not destroy them. For a long time since The Mandalorian Season 2, fans have been wondering, is The Mandalorian going to wreck on the sequels? Well, the answer is an absolute no. Jon Favreau says there's all this time between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens that he wants to explore. They say 2023 will be a big year for Star Wars. Between The Bad Batch, The Mandalorian, and Skeleton Crew, there is plenty of Star Wars for everyone, not to mention the second season of Star Wars Visions. Yet the Ahsoka series is the one show that has most fans speculating. As more information has been revealed, the more it looks like time travel may be involved. It's not so much time travel, but more world between worlds, alternate realities, and this gives the Disney Plus series the unique opportunity to build on the Star Wars sequels instead of further tearing them down. According to this piece, Ahsoka can connect all three Star Wars eras, all three trilogies. Now the way this connects to the sequels is that in the World Between Worlds in Star Wars Rebels, we did hear a conversation between Rey and Kylo Ren, and they might use this opportunity to also view more events from the sequel trilogy. It might even be how she calls out to Rey during the events of The Rise of Skywalker, because Dave Filoni did say, despite the fact we hear the Jedi ghosts, it doesn't mean Ahsoka specifically is dead. She could be calling out in the World Between Worlds. Now as you guys know, the sequels are not my favourite trilogy, but if they can add context to it and kind of build it up in a better way, then I'm all for contextualization. But as I say guys, don't worry, the main focus in the World Between Worlds is going to be the Clone Wars era, and more specifically Ahsoka's relationship to Anakin, her former master. That's going to be so huge. As we spoke about in the past, we're going to see an alternative version of Revenge of the Sith, the Battle of the Heroes, and they might put her in other situations too. Let's just wait and see. So really interesting stuff guys, share your thoughts on this in the comments down below. And so now, let's talk about Grogu. I came across a really interesting theory that tries to explain why the Yoda species is such a mystery, and why Grogu has acted at times in an aggressive way. Possible spoilers ahead. Given the wild and unverified rumours that The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to contain some dark side Yoda species in the unknown regions, some fans have speculated that maybe naturally the Yoda species is inclined towards the dark side, similar to the Night Sisters. ancestors. The theory goes that perhaps Yoda and his species originate in the place beyond the galaxy known as the New Beyond, which according to Making Star Wars is going to be explored in Skeleton Crew. In this place, the understanding that we know about the Force is very different, and by the Yoda species' natural leanings, maybe they're manifestations of the Force's will, part of the balance, but they're naturally dark side users. According to this theory, if the Yoda species are to move away from their dark side nature, they have to work extra hard to fight it and its urges. In fact, Yoda and Yaddle were two examples of successful cases where they were able to resist the dark side and become Jedi, although in the comics, Yaddle did have a couple of brushes with the dark, but that's why we see so few Jedi Yoda species. Very few of them leave the New Beyond and come to the known galaxy, let alone choose the light side, and there is some evidence to back this up. We've seen Grogu's aggressive streak in the first 2 seasons, and a tendency to betray his Jedi teachings, although you could explain this by his mind going dark after he was hidden following Order 66, and maybe he was spared by clone troopers at the request of Palpatine himself, who might know that their species are more easily manipulable and susceptible to the dark. According to this theory, it also explains how Yoda sounds like he's speaking from experience in The Empire Strikes Back and The Phantom Menace, when he warns Luke and Anakin respectively about attachment and the general path to the dark side. This was even more prominent in the deleted scenes for Episode 5. On top of this, Grogu was born in the same year as Anakin Skywalker. Since Disney loves the idea of dyads, what if Grogu, like Anakin, was a manifestation of the Force, but a dark user to balance the two sides? Even if Anakin turned to Darth Vader, he was redeemed in the end, but what if a dark future lies ahead for Grogu? Now I know they're going down the path of Mandalore and Grogu becoming a Mandalorian, but who knows, there might be a dark twist that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have in store for Grogu. I should reiterate, guys, that this is just a theory. I thought it was pretty crazy when I heard it, and I wanted to share it with you guys and get your thoughts on it. Dark side stuff aside, I definitely believe the part about the Yoda species being created from the Force's will, and not being organic beings who are born the regular way. Dave Filoni respects George Lucas's wishes to not reveal too much about the Yoda species, so we might never find out, but I do hope over time, little hints here and there are dropped. Overall though, I'm really hoping The Mandalorian Season 3 gives us a good reason to care about Grogu's character, instead of just being a cute MacGuffin. Don't get me wrong, I love the little guy, and we have had some amazing, interesting backstory, but I want more substance. Now that he's back with Din, which some fans argue took away from the impact of The Mandalorian Season 2, I hope his story is just as interesting as that of Mando himself, and those like Bo-Katan. And just before I go, my dear friends, we have this amazing piece of artwork for Jedi Survivor. Super exciting stuff. So share your thoughts in the comments down below, guys, of this theory and everything we spoke about in today's news updates. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos not found here on YouTube, then click the link down there in the description. You also get your name at the end of my videos. But until the next one, guys, may the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.